if you don't remember, Jennifer, the pug snores are cracking me up. You don't have to get rid of the pug, but man, they have it. Your pug has it dialed to 11 tonight.
Yes, he does. He does. On the app side, the mods were, I was just looking at the mods chat and they can hear me better. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We, Malcontents, we're working actually on getting Jennifer new equipment. Her first piece of new equipment, a good microphone, showed up today. And we are hopeful to come Thursday, Jennifer's picture and lighting and everything else is going to be like, it's going to be amazing. Let's talk about Elijah McClain. If you're not familiar with the story of Elijah McClain was attempted to be arrested in 2019. There's just no other way to kind of word this, in August. And what happened to Elijah is a travesty, and it is inching closer and closer to being a crime. Elijah was on the autism spectrum, and he was a brilliant violin player, and he had no prior criminal record. He had no prior issues whatsoever. Police got a phone call. We're going to go ahead and roll the clip here for the minute about a sketchy looking person, and everything went wrong after that. And I'm going to roll the warning clip again because this is really hard to watch.
Hey, stop right there. Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Well, okay.
Turn around.
No,
Turn around.
actually, your hands, bro.
Turn around. Stop tensing up, dude. Stop tensing up, bro. Stop tensing up.
This is gonna go well, dude.
Stop tensing up.
He looks sketchy. I don't, he might be a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
But mask on.
I am an introvert. Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking.
Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to change this situation, dude.
Leave me alone.
Sir, can you please cooperate?
You leave me alone.
No, we're gonna talk to
You guys started to rush me, and I was stopping my music to listen. Now let go of me. Get over there.
You guys.
I intend to take my power back, and I intend to be centered.
No,
I intend to be centered.
grab your gun, dude.
Stop, dude.
So what happens next is the officers put Elijah McClain, who was autistic, into a cardioid hold, as you saw in there, essentially a choke hold, and they choke him out. They still say he is combative. Paramedics come based on the call from the police, and the police are just basically saying, hey, he probably likes some drug addict or something. Paramedics just took their word for it and gave him a dose of ketamine. The dose of ketamine that they gave him was for somebody over 50 pounds heavier than what he was. And he stopped breathing, and he got brain damaged, and then he was brain dead, and then he died from the injuries of that. And there was absolute outrage from the Aurora, Colorado community from this. And George Floyd happened about almost a year later, actually. Well, May. So, yeah, I guess almost a year. We're splitting hairs, but it's almost a year later. George Floyd happens, and this wound gets torn open. And there was a planned protest vigil involving violin players from across the nation. And it was one of the things when this happened. This one's tough. This one's really tough. I'm just going to roll the clip, and I might need a minute after I roll the clip. And we've already rolled the warning once. I'm not going to roll it again. This is protest, and it's tough to watch. But this is how the police responded to the violin protest.
The name Elijah McClain has spread far beyond his memorial in Aurora.
I see
myself in him a lot. That easily could have been me in a lot of situations.
It was like I saw myself in his story. You know, it's like that could have been me.
Ashanti Floyd and Lee Indlin Jr. are world-renowned violinists. They heard Elijah's story, saw the video of how he died, and knew they had to speak up.
I saw this as an opportunity to just stand up and be there and show support and solidarity for, you know, the change that's on its way.
Tomorrow, they'll fly to Denver from Georgia and New York to use the most powerful voices they have to fight for justice.
Look at this. There's a slot for me. Look at that shit.
Stay back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
So they can see the violence. This is why we're peaceful here.
Stay front, stay front, stay silent.
No, 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 no! No, 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 no!
Police claim they advanced when people pushed down a fence and tore plywood off store windows, threw water bottles at officers. The Aurora mayor has now called for a special meeting of the city council tomorrow.
Come on. Jade! 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 Come on. Let's go back here. Isaiah, come back and play. Come back and play, yeah? Play. Come on, let's go back. The tear gas is coming. Come on.
We were not created to do this. You
Come on, Isaiah.
money that you trust God. We were not created to do this. What are we doing?
The only word that comes to mind is dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
It's dystopian to watch that.
Yeah. Like, what threat did those people pose?
That music was played at my wedding. So it's really hard for me to watch this.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
So what's the punchline to this? Now that we've rehashed the story of Elijah McClain, we've gone back to the events of June 27th, which, contrast this to what happened in the Capitol in Washington, D.C., when they didn't just push the fences down, they beat the police officers with the fences. We know it because we saw it live.
Yeah.
And contrast to this. And the other thing is white allies. Where are you? Because what did we see? We saw white people to the front trying to hold the crowd back and putting themselves between them and the police. Where the hell are you now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fired up over this.
Yeah.
There is some glimmer of good news that has come out to this. An independent study of this incident going back all the way to the August stop has concluded that when the police officers approached Elijah McClain, they had no probable cause to approach him. There is no crime in 2019 in wearing a face mask. As a matter of fact, now in 2020, in some places, it's a crime not to wear a face mask. And it is important when we look at that story to remember that he was stopped basically because somebody called up going, there's a black person walking down the road wearing a ski mask. And that was enough probable cause in the discretion of the police to stop Elijah McClain, an autistic 23-year-old who loved the violin and had no criminal record. And they choked him out, they doped him up with ketamine, and he died. And now, almost 2 years later, what we've learned is they had no probable cause to stop him in the first place, which anybody who's remotely paid attention in a 6th grade civics class could have told you in the first place.
Yeah. No, it's such a tragic story. It's not only is he, dealing with autism, he probably wasn't, autistic. I mean, there's lots of different kinds of autism. But being approached by police officers maybe, was traumatizing, in and of itself. But the fact that they gave him ketamine, making an assumption about what was going on with him is so grossly negligent. And then, I just, again, after watching some of that footage of the Wheeler body cam and the audio, and then paralleling it with some of this other stuff that we have going on tonight, it's so grossly obvious what is at play here, and it's white privilege and race.
And that's actually a theme of the show tonight when we put a bow on the show at the end. We will continue to monitor this, the Rochester story. And guess what, Malcontents? We have another story tonight about walking while black, which is basically what it just comes down to. Yeah. And I'm going to say it again. I get up here and I say it and I say it and I say it, and I'm going to say it again. 13% of the American population is black. If you include mixed race, it's 15%. They will never have equality without our support and our help and our allyship. It will never happen because it's numbers. It's just numbers. And so with that, we're going to do a pause and we're going to go to the next segment.
Okay.
Black Coffee is a hub for communities and a hub for meeting people, making friends, and understanding.
What Black Coffee is to me is a place to actually call home, a place where Black youth will feel welcomed, where Black families will come and feel like they're at home.
What we're trying to build is more than just coffee. Community is something that we do naturally. We know who's in the community, we know what the deficits are, and we're trying to fix that. We want to bring people together.
My hope is that the phrase grounded in excellence shows up everywhere and that it becomes a movement.
I'm looking forward to hanging out at Black Coffee with my friends and feeling safe.
Black Coffee to me means opportunity for people like me and my other friends and family to come here and do homework safely and hang out and stuff like that.
That is happening. It is happening.
Black Coffee Northwest is located in Shoreline, Washington. They're between 180th and 170th on the west side of the highway. Check their website and check their Facebook page because they shift their hours from time to time, and I want to get it right. And with that said, the coffee is from Africa. The coffee is amazing. They have great merch. I have to wear my Accomplice shirt again. I haven't worn that in a while. And Jennifer, it would be complete if I didn't say, go get a potato scone.
I know.
It's like becoming the Malcontent joke here.
Yes. Yeah. And you torment me with them because I can't eat them because I'm vegan. Whatever.
I could just tell you how amazing they are.